I want to thank my sponsor, Card Kingdom. We are going to do a core set 2020 sealed here. And before we do, I wanted to thank them for their sponsorship of my stream. You can check them out at cardkingdom.com. You can do so through the affiliate link in my panels down below for a little nod to me. That's nice. But Card Kingdom is going to hook you up with whatever you need for your magicking. Whether you are looking for a sealed product to do some limited, whether you just want to buy pre-order the latest booster box, maybe you saw a single that's not even available yet, but you want to pre-order that. They have pre-orders, M20 pre-orders are up, so you can prepare for your next standard night at F&M or whatever ahead of time with some pre-ordering. And of course, they give a 30% bonus on trade-ins if you sell them cards and do it for store credit instead of cash. So keep that in mind as well. Thank you, Card Kingdom. Let's see what rares we got. MTG tracker is not helping me. I'm gonna go away. Oh, I love it. This Steel Overseer is fine. We'll see if we can ramp to Villas or not, but we're this just makes me so happy. We got 7 wins with the Gargos deck, right? That was just, this card is nuts. That third line of text, build around that, and it's great. This is not great, but I've played it before when it had this very specific job of just helping make it to the late game by dealing with early stuff. I think if you have a Chandra, you're running this on spec, but seems like more of a constructed plant. What's this? I've not seen the Glinthorn Buccaneer before. 1 red for a 2/4 haste, so that's a good rate. Whenever you discard a card, Glinthorn Buccaneer deals 1 damage to each opponent, not creatures. And you can pay 1 in a red and discard a card to draw a card, and you activate this only if Glinthorn Buccaneer is attacking. So it's a weird mid-combat rummage on a 2/4 haste. This is kind of a weird collection of like uncommon type stats that all add up enough for them to slap a rare tag on it, but it's kind of a weirdo. What are we even looking at here? Yeah, good question. I don't know. It looks like, well, it's a regulator. Don't you know what regulators look like? It's, maybe a modem from 1728. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think you're going to get enough looting value out of this. Like, the question is, if you have 1 Chandra, are you playing it? That's kind of really my question. Anyway, let's go look at the rest and hope that we can support this Gargos especially, and maybe Villas, but I don't want to force this unless we have the ramp. You don't want to play 8s unless you're going to augment your mana somehow. And then Steel Overseer is just fine, just sitting there getting big. But let's do our usual switch to uncommons, see what kind of uncommons we have in this pool. Can't really play this. Haven't seen this do too much yet. I think you need aggro, and I haven't really seen the aggro. Scholar is fantastic, though. If we can, I really want to try to do shenanigans with the Scholar. Sorry, I'll get out of your way. Vampire of the Dire Moon. Solid. Not amazing. Mostly it's about a 1/1 death touch for 1, which we had at common in, for example, Guilds of Ravnica. So nothing to get too excited about just because of the life link, but it's cool nonetheless. We'd play that. We are best of 1, making these... sad. Like, I'm looking forward to traditional draft because we get to take things, or, you know, like Noxious Grasp and play them. Like, that's a really good card. against the right opponents. Too bad we don't know if we have them or not. Spitfire tends to work well with the Chandras available, although not really in this case. Oh no, yeah, kind of, because it's an elemental, right? So yeah, you plus it and the element, the Spitfire becomes a 3/3. So has a little synergy there. Goblin Tribal is unlikely and sealed. Barkhide Troll, that's fine. It's oppressive on its cost on the green though, so it's no guarantees on turn 2, which is the problem. Overgrowth Elemental though is a fine if unimpressive. Not fine. It's an unimpressive 3/2 for 3, but it does throw a counter on a different elemental, and when elementals die, this gets bigger, so it's got some upside if you have some elementals going on. Corpse Knight. We've seen a lot of this from white-black. But I think this really plunks him over time. You know, you're going to run this in every white-black deck pretty happily. Tomebound Lich is great. Be fun if we could figure out a way to play this. But I was hoping we're playing green-black, and this is great for green-black, so maybe we are green-black. Let's oh yeah, let me change that. I'll update the stuff. Let's avoid confusion on that front. Too long. Up against it, but that's all right. Yeah, so hopefully, maybe if we get some green fixing, we can splash the Lich, but basically I'm hoping we're green-black here. This seems too slow to be good, but I would bring this in the sideboard in a best of 3 against a deck showing a lot of 1 toughness. The 8-drop potentially. Specifically, I like that 8-drop if you're in green-black, because then with green you tend to have the ramp. So that I was hoping we have the excuse to play the 8-drop, frankly, but we're about to find out if we have that excuse, because we're going to go look at our commons, and that will show us what our fixing situation really is. We'll start color by color, though. Looking at the white, this is fine. Just okay. This is good. Only one of these, so that's just bad. Dawning Angel is fine. I like a squad captain if I have a lot more of these. I like it anyway, but it's especially good with the raises. Not seeing much in the white here, though. Although I'm going to put uncommons on as well, so we see the commons and uncommons of a given color here. Anticipate 3 sprites, negate, weaponsmith, links, winged words, paralysis. 2 elementals is nice, winged words is nice. Maybe we can work a blue splash in if we have a lot of, or maybe we're just blue-green. But I think we're going to be green, though. Ooh, this is interesting to see. So we do have some support for a blue-green deck or a blue-green splash of some kind. Maybe we're splashing the black and playing blue. But so far, I'm liking the blue all right. Now here's a big check. 1 Gorging Vulture, 1 Murder, 1 Soul Salvage, 1 Siphon. This is a nice foursome here, but not necessarily amazing. We would play Vampire and maybe Skeleton, depending on our... and Bone Splinters. So there's some playables in black, but maybe it's not as deep as I was hoping. This is playable. Maybe we're blue-green splashing Lich and Reclamation. I think Lich is splashable, because get this on turn 8, you're not unhappy to do a loot and have a Death Toucher, but obviously better early. Let's see what we got in red. There was some potential for a red splash as well. Maybe for... well, there's some decent red here. 2 Shocks, an Outrage, and a Chandra are all tempting. Spitfire, playable, if not amazing. Same with Smuggler and Lavakin Brawler. You can think of these in your head, you can be like, oh, so this is like a 2-1 for 1, but really the lack of 2 power matters. The power of these red 2-1s for 1 that get in for a lot of damage early is that they can then, when they're no longer good attackers, hopefully stay back and trade for something with 2 toughness, but these can't do that, so don't be fooled into thinking this is effectively a 2-1 for 1. It's not. Predator is playable, I suppose. Yeah, red is all right. Red could be splashable as well, or maybe red, blue, green somehow here. Well, we've got some ramp there. The troll we already saw. Invocation is playable. Everybody loves the pup. It's not amazing, but it's amazingly popular. We saw the elemental, yes. Tracker I like in sealed. A single tracker is great in sealed, I think. It's probably fine in draft, but especially sealed. Crasher's good, Mammoth Spider good. Oh yeah, gotta love the Shaman and the Reclamation. So yeah, I think we're green. Why does everybody love 3 mana for 2/3? Who loves that, Media? I love it when I have a card like that that does something sweet, but I really am not. I'm trying hard not to play 2/3s for 3. The last time I played 2/3 for 3 with some, like, okay, fine, was in Dominaria when you had that wizard, and wizard synergies mattered. Oh, sure, yeah. People just love the pup because it's a cute doggy. It's 2 bodies, yes. It's but let's face it, Fiddles. If you're not doing something, if you're not sacrificing the pup, then you're doing it wrong. And I think that's really funny. Like, I kind of want to make a Magic cartoon. Like, I could see, my daughter's 18 now, but if I introduced her to Magic when she was 6 or 7 or whatever, and I made her, she loves cats and dogs, so I made her a cat deck that she really liked. I can make her a dog deck now, but I kind of want this set up a scenario where, like, your child, you make a deck for your child and they play this cute ferocious pup, but then what they're supposed to do with it is sacrifice it to whatever the black blood sacrifice. So yeah, like, and she never played Magic again. Just sacrifice the puppy, dear. Memes are slow going, Dionysus. Nothing this week. Well, with the American holiday yesterday, my son was super busy. I was super busy. Yeah, memes will appear later, but not this week. Anyway, let's. I think we're definitely green, and I'm gonna put this in for now, but I don't know if we're gonna keep it in. Hopefully we play the element of this. Yeah, there's just a lot of good green. Probably blue. I'm going to put the bond in for now, but it's probably a cut. But I'm just taking anything even remotely likely. Oh, and let's get all the rarity filter going. And then I think, like, white is just out. But what do we like? Let's put all... Maybe this might overload us a little bit, but I'm going to put in, like, the playable blue and the playable black. It's playable. It's not main deckable. It's one of those is playable, I guess. I don't want 2. And I'll put it in just in case we need to. So this is obviously more than we can play. I'm just trying to get an idea of... And maybe this is playable. Doesn't feel like it. Shocks. We do have the one... We actually have that question. And I don't think it's worth the regulator to try and double activate Chandra, so I'm going to leave it in the board. But we would play this. Probably that and that. Maybe that. That. Remind ourselves that we have that. Okay, let's see what this looks like and where we actually want to end up. Yeah, negate could be in part of our playable pile. Same with anticipate, really. Just not the weaponsmith. All right. Hard to see a little bit here, but what do we? One of the reasons I do it this way is to take a look at curve, especially down low. Like, what are we doing? What are these different color combinations doing in the early turns? And looks like kind of blue-green is winning on that front. Although, you know, if you like the sorcerers, this is fine. No, I'm not going to do that, Stratic. If they had a button that let me do that, sure. But if you think I'm going to move around all these cards into color piles, you are crazy. Just gotta look. Yeah, I don't think red's a main color. I don't think it's possible that we're playing red main, so I'm going to cut non-splashable red. We're cutting that. Oops. I didn't mean to cut that. I don't even know what it was. So, like, red would just be a splash for shock and a couple Chandras, or in a Chandra. A couple shocks and a Chandra, that doesn't seem viable to me. And we don't even really have fixing. Yeah, I guess we have a little fixing if we're blue. Let's figure out what black card I accidentally cut. Vulture. Okay. I mean, the sprites are okay, but they get worse in multiples because you run out of mana to do much with them. Is Chandra's Outrage splashable? What do you think, Fiddles? I don't think it is. It's got red, and we like. I mean, it's splashable in a world where you're playing two New Horizons, and it's a super powerful double color splash. But I think we have to play green. I'm not playing this. I think we can cut the bond already. It's really just a matter of whether we're splashing blue or splashing black. Let me screen cap this just to have a placeholder reference, and then we'll take a look at one of the two options. I mean, yeah, you could go... If you're willing to give up on Gargos, you could not play green. But yeah, I'm with you, Double D's. I think it looks good on the black splash. Maybe we'd play the sack dude there. See, this gets us close to something, and then we have Soul Salvage, Siphon, Reclamation. Lich on the splash, is that too much? We could maybe cut the Siphon. Still got 6 cuts to make here. You just wanted to type 666, Dionysus. You don't even think that this is this. You come on. I'm not worried about the land yet. We'll deal with land last. I just want to remember what fixing we do have. So I wanted to look at this version. Probably cut one of these and that. One sprite at least. Yeah, we could look at it that way as well. Green kind of, although I want to have enough to play Scholar. Although it's late, you know, we're going to not have too much of a problem with that. Might even cut the other Gyre. Not sure what it's doing for us. We're not aggro. Yeah, the Anticipate could go as well. I like it a little better than the Gyre, but something's got to give here. I do like keeping the negate in, I think. Good question. I just assume Scholar is super value, but let's understand what we're actually doing with it. We have negate, Winged Words, Soul Salvage, Siphon, and maybe that's not enough. Maybe we just have to cut it, and then we can kind of make it that that does lower our blue commitment as well. That's fair. Bond does get better with our buddy here. In fact, is there anything else we're missing on that front? Like, not really here. We can play the Bone Splinters too. Consider that. And I'm with you on cutting the pup. Bye, pup. Why are we playing blue? Elemental and Winged Words and Paralysis, really. But this is just look number one. We're going to look at what black heavy looks like as well. We would still have one cut to make here, but let's actually copy this and then go look at the base black option. It might look better, especially without a good target for the. Yeah, so if we're splashing blue, let's cut the cards we're not playing on a blue splash. We might play all of those on a blue splash. Let's start there. And we put back in Vamp. I'm going to put this in for now. We'll see. Do we have any sack engines? We just have we have Bone Splinters and Skeleton, but nothing else. I mean, because like if we can sit here and loop skeletons with Reclamation, that's pretty cool, but I don't think we have that. Zylog says nothing in blue is worth splashing. Disagree. I think we can probably cut the Paralysis because we're bringing back in good removal in that case, although you need kind of all the removal you can get. But I disagree that these aren't splashable. I think 3/4 flyers for 5 are worthy. Yeah, the fact that this could be milled by this, though, isn't a reason to play it, right? It's a little upside worth mentioning, but I don't think it moves the needle on playability. We would play that. It's making our 5s pretty thick, though. And I don't know if we play 8, because we just have the one Druid. That ain't great. We're going to take that risk. Yeah, no Gift of Paradise here. No Scuttlemutts either. And very little going on at 2. That was one of the benefits of blue, is that it offers more to do at 2. But we're sealed. We don't need to have too much to do at 2, I don't think, and we'll be okay. And this deck is looking 15-9. Take out the Spider if we're going to splash the Elementals. Yeah, I could cut Legion's End. Although, I'm looking towards playing this for the same reason I played it before. Not because it's a good card, not because it's premium removal, not because it's even good removal, but because we're just trying to survive until we hope to take over with Gargos and Moldervine Reclamation and make these work for us. And to get there, we just need stuff to do early. So you would play a card like Legion's End on the as part of your, hey, let's get some things that we're willing to do on 2. You know, some things that we're willing to do on turn 2 just to help us get to Gargos. And then if you draw Legion's End, you know, on turn 18 or whatever, and there's no good targets, then then it feels bad, but it feels bad like any 2-drop does, like you know, Leafkin Druid would at that point or whatever. The point is, it's there to do its job in the very, very early turns, and if you miss that window, Hopefully it means you've made it to the late game anyway, but if it helps you make it to the late game, then it's done that job. You like the blue better? Yeah, what do y'all think? Good luck, Bucky. Feral Invocation is totally playable. It's fine. I know. Look, I mean, you're just thinking about it like, oh, well, if I can't put it on a 2-drop on turn 3, it's not good. Like, whatever. We put it on a Vulture on turn 6. Like, whatever. All right, there's a lot of yeah, time to pull this because it's pretty disparate. And we could look at blue-black as well. Maybe we're clinging to this Gargos too much, but it does feel like I think we want to play our green. Anyway, Zilog doesn't want to splash at all, so I'm going to go... so we'll do a 30-second pull, and it's blue, black, or none are your choices for the splash. I'm not playing an 8-drop with 1 ramp card. Which to splash, yes. And if you think we shouldn't splash, mostly people want to splash the blue and play the murder. I think you guys are underrating the elemental. Those of you who don't want to play it, it's real good. 3/4 flyers are just good. Also, yeah, they are elementals, and they combine with this. You would play the 8-drop, huh? Man, over what? If we did this, what are you cutting? Also, I wanted to note, Feral Invocation triggers Gargos. Anybody who was suggesting cutting that? Heck, we put Wolfkin Bond back in because of Gargos. Cut the Lich. Fiddles is like, no, it's my Lich. What are you knowing at? Yeah, you want the Lich. I like the Lich too. I don't want to cut it. I'm not playing bad cards to make my bomb better, Zilog. I'm playing what I think is a great card. I love Feral Invocation. I think it's great. And I think Wolfkin Bond is playable. It's especially playable when you have flyers. Like, Marshall and Luis weren't very high on Wolfkin Bond. Luis's point was that at 5 mana, you're still just adding 4 power and toughness, which is not super impressive for 5 mana in green. However, when you can throw it on a flyer in particular, or on something like a Tomebound Lich, then you're in business. So for me, I think the value of Wolfkin Bond swings heavily based on what types of targets you have for the aura. And in this case, the fact that it happens to be an amazing card with Gargos around is great. And the fact that it happens to be an improved card by having elementals and vultures and liches around just makes it a fine playable. Not a bad card that we are playing because it makes our bomb better. Does that make sense? And if we look at our current We're at 15.9. This here. Dionysus is getting impatient. I think Bone Splinters is okay just because there's so much aura-based removal. We'll have something to sack to it. I'm going to skip the 8-drop and call this a deck so we can get going. And what are we calling this? Vicious Elementals. And then now let's fix the land. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 blue splash cards. So that is maybe a little heavy. But we do have the falls though. I'm gonna go like this. That's 18 though. With the troll, kind of want to do it 9, 6, 2. It makes murder harder to cast, though. Siphon is life gain. Yeah, what do we... Oh, you're talking about to justify playing the 8-drop? Yeah. I'm concerned about the mana now. I kind of want to lower this to... no, that's got to stay at 3. But it makes me want to lower the blue count. Maybe I do cut an elemental. But it's so... darned reasonable. All right. Maybe we do have to cut the Lich. I don't want to cut the Wing Words. It doesn't matter that Wing Words is cheap. We want Wing Words on turn 14, you know? So I'm going to actually suck it up and cut that Lich. It's just a little... That makes me feel better about this mana base. Lich is never... Lich... I disagree, Media. Here's how Lich can be bad. We don't have any blue. Why do you want to bring back the pup, though? Why is pup your answer here? Let's cut the blue since we're trying to reduce the splash. Actually, you should play just a sorcerer. Gives us an extra 2. Skeleton should be in, says Zylog. we're not doing anything with it. Is it really worth it to sit there and chump for 4 mana? Same thing with pup. Like, Bone Splinters we have, but I don't understand why you're saying Skeleton should be in and why pup is actually good. Pup is not good unless you're doing something with the pup. Maybe it's like, it's barely better than a 2/3 for 3. If you're not actually leveraging it. If you're leveraging sacrifice and blink and all that stuff, great. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so it's, instead of a 2/3 for 3, it's a 2/2 that gains you a little life because you throw an 0/1 in front of something at some point. Right, so Bone Splinters is okay without a pup and without a skeleton. You still, you know, it doesn't, like, I need more than a Bone Splinters to play a pup and a skeleton. And haha, I milled a skeleton with my vulture is also not enough. Yeah, mammoth spider. Yeah, what's going to benefit from the reclamation? Us? When stuff dies? I mean, stuff dies, right? This is a John Lauk special. It does nothing. It's a 5 mana, literally a 5 mana do nothing enchantment. But I think you got to run it. Just enough stuff dies that you're going to be happy with that. Soul Salvage is... Pup is good with Soul Salvage. Creatures are good with Soul Salvage. Well, folks, we're going to give this a shot. So... strap it on. Let's see, we're gonna go... I'm gonna do this, though. It's a little risky, but we're gonna go... We might not get this Sparkhide Troll down when we want, but... we got 1 drops in black, so I need to go to 7 here. Cutthroat. Over what? Cutthroat's not awful, but it's hard to get value out of this. Vraska's finisher was much better because... you could send a cheapie at a planeswalker, and then you got one or the other, right? So, no, I don't really like this card, actually. Unless you're throwing around pings and stuff, and we're not. I don't know how you change them. I just so don't care. What do you mean, select basic lands? That... settings? What settings? Filters? Filters. Basic lands? No, I just don't care. Sorry. Suck it. Suck it, Dionysus. I do not give a flying F. Sorry. Sorry, flavor folks. Punished. We're going to keep this, though. We got a Sorcerer and Legion's End at a time where it's actually going to be useful, so we'll keep this. MTG tracker, will you get your shit together? Come on. Why isn't... Come on, tracker. Show me my actual deck contents. What are you doing? Let's confuse them. Ooh, they got the bag. They got this game in the bag, so we're in trouble now. All right, tracker's just not going to help me right now. Fine, be that way. It's a sorcery. I wish at least it could be an instant. Yeah, we really need to be applying some pressure right now, and we are absolutely not. MTGA tracker is what I was using, but right now it's just showing my deck list and not showing me what's left in my deck in this game, which is what I want it for. Yeah, I don't know how to get that going. Sure. Sorry, Oppo. Wasting your time. Interesting they're pitching a shock. I would think you'd want to hold that early since you're going to get the most shockable stuff early. They've started on 3, so our Legion's End hasn't done anything, but its job is to do a job when we are under early pressure, and we weren't, so... Yeah. They may just be looking ahead. I'm not sure why they would make that choice. That's weird. This is a brutal draw. Drawing a 3rd swamp when we desperately need a forest is frustrating. Do I find OP skill increases significantly with number of wins? Yeah, I mean, it turns out your match made on win-loss. Even though this is... Well, actually, I don't know how they match make in Sealed. Sealed is in this weird territory where it's not a ranked format, but it's best of 1. So I could see them going either way with it. I would expect they match make just on record, though. Two to the bottom is good for us to see. I think we're gonna have to murder here. We can't just sit around taking 6. Let's start on the Druid, actually. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be 6. If we draw a 7th land, we get to go Tracker Elemental next turn. And the Druid is an Elemental, so I kind of want to lead there. And then when we follow with the Overgrowth, we get to put a counter on the Druid. Maybe that's not even worth it that much, but we could just go Tracker. Starting with Druid gives us 2 green next turn if they don't kill it is the thing. All right, I'm going to do the Druid. An attack. Well, Double D's, I hope Oppo is so confused it somehow leads to a misplay. I doubt it, though. Alright. Let's see. We did not get the land to do the 2-spell thing we were hoping to do, so instead I like Elemental on putting a counter on the Druid and then just attacking Chandra for 2. Huh, they are pausing with 1 blue mana. Tell me what that means. Chat Google. Unsummon? Yeah, good call. Alright, so they probably have Unsummon. We'll see if they want to use it here to prevent a damage. If so, that's cool. That looks like they do want to. I think that's okay for us, except it does mean that Elemental dies and the Druid doesn't
temper.
get the counter. Oh, that wasn't going to work that whenever another one dies. All right, so they're going to get the Elemental. Maybe that wasn't a great play to play it.
I sure hope you can't handle the heat.
More swamps. Thanks, deck. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. How about Tracker? At least Tracker can block the Digger currently. Yeah, we had to do something. You're right. It's not like you can sit there staring at Chandra ticking up or whatever. Although that's what we're going to do now. I don't know how you beat a turn 1 bag without destroying the bag. We do have the ability to damage planeswalkers with this Fang, so there is that. If we feel like we can afford to, we could take next turn off to kill Chandra. Kill Chandra.
Oh, I just want to hug all those fire critters.
Yeah, we're probably going to have to do that, which is not great. We're going to spend next turn with just a 2/4 if we spend the whole turn dealing with this Planeswalker. Oh, are they going for the kill here? Maybe they've got, yeah, I guess so. Nice, Oppo. I like it. Good job. Well found, Oppo. I'm out of coffee. That was a sad first game for us. It was a nice line, though. I tipped the cap to that line. Well found. I'm going to refill my coffee, though, and then we'll come back. So let's see. I go here like this, and then... Yeah, still don't care. You can look at this deck while I go get some coffee. Be right back. What do you think? Yeah, Fang is not great, but I mean, it's always over what? You want to take out Fang, you gotta tell me what we're putting in, right? So why? Oh, because I have it selected here. Yeah, go away. I don't care. I do care a little bit. Just to, you know, I'm kind of playing up not caring, but actually in paper I care a lot. Like I bring unhinged basics to my draft nights. I have my cube sleeved with betas, that kind of thing. So I do care about basic lands, but somehow it just matters to me so much less digitally. But I do, especially like as a poker player, the difference between playing with plastic big box store chips versus nice clay casino chips is night and day, even though it's the same game, you know? So I do get how the quality of the parts impacts the experience. But let's I'm curious what people are thinking about this build. Fang's not terrible, but it's not good. Like, it's just okay. So you want to cut all of this blue and just add the remaining black green? And you think that's just way better? I just so disagree. Like, we're talking one, you know, we're putting in skeleton, pup, spider for like words, elemental. Is that your... You think that improves this deck? I just don't agree. Like, I don't see what 3 cards you're putting in for winged words and elemental that are better. I mean, I get that we're taking you know, we're hurting our mana base to do it. Maybe we have a better shot last game if we didn't have an island clogging up our colors, but casting everything all the time is well and good, but power level matters too, right? Lich for Necromancer. Yeah, we could cut the Necromancer. Clogged at 5. Why do you say on arena? What does that matter? Why does consistency matters here but not anywhere else? Like, what does that even mean? That's fair if you're talking about quality of player. But I don't think it's the extreme that you're putting it forth. Why am I not playing the Mythic? Because it's 8. We don't have... What Mythic? You mean this? Fiddles wants to increase the splash to re-include the Lich. What if we did... that? Or we could do... Cure of Blood. What reclamation are we talking about? Oh, this reclamation, yeah. No, I'm not going to cut that. It's funny, everybody's got lots of strong opinions here. I'm not sure I agree with our friend who wants to cut the blue entirely, but I'm not sure about stretching the splash either. I think I'm going to put in the skeleton as at least it goes with the bone splinters, and if we do get into a situation where we are recurring it as a blocker, if we have reclamation, it's okay. We have 2 5-drop flyers that kind of are better than the spider, and we don't want too many 5s, and the Wolfkin Bond is okay and then gets really great on flyers and with Gargos. That's why we're playing the Bond. Do you think we should have just mulliganed the first hand? No. Spider in a vacuum is better than Bond, I grant that. But it's all about jobs that cards are doing, right? And Spider is doing a job that our blue splash is already doing. And Bond is brutally awesome with the rare we have and goes well enough on the other stuff we have for me to want to keep it. What? You don't think that the spider in a vacuum is better than Wolfkin Bond? No troll for us, except for Vaporkin. Yeah, all these equipments that come down with creatures underneath them are great. I think they're all good. Interesting. Strongly disagree with Bond being better than Spider in a vacuum. But Magic, 25 years later, creates strong disagreements with every set. That's one of the reasons we love it. Talking about the relative power level of cards in a vacuum is talking about without deck context or format context. You have no idea, you have no other information. All you know is card A or card B, which one do you want to start with? Thank you for that sub. And thank you, Fiddles, for gifting it. That's nice. Well, we're low on lands. That's no good, but we'll throw this down. Attack and see if we can't recover here. considering our hand was at a kind of a free block, like we could just return it. Yeah, maybe. But then we drew something to cast, and we had murder, so not really. It wasn't truly free. This isn't an elemental. We could trade for it, but then that's not very good. Yeah, this is what makes this card so good, is you hate even just like, ugh, I don't want to trade for a 1/1 token. They still have this blade. So I am going to say no blocks here. We need some help, though. Interesting that they put that on the elemental, because now, I mean, I'm happy to trade for the vamp. We're just going to go next, though. We might murder something. We'll see. But I don't know what that equipment switch is about, because now it's in a place where they can't attack, and they got to switch it back in order to be able to attack. Maybe they just had extra mana. It didn't really matter. Rudy, it's not a pointless exercise at all. What are you talking about? It's the quintessential exercise, starting with an understanding of how good is this card. Like, what do we know about... I mean, because you can't evaluate a card in a true vacuum, because it's still in a magic vacuum, right? You know, to evaluate a card in a vacuum, it'd be like out of the game or whatever, but it's in the context of the game, and there's great value in that. Saying... In fact, it makes it simpler, right? It's like starting from a baseline. It's kind of like the vanilla test of assessment. Whew! Sure glad that's not a Wolfkin bond. Do we murder it? Probably have to murder it because we have the elemental coming. I'm gonna kill this. Alright, now we get our elemental. It's hard to kill. Hopefully they can't. I did see your question. I'm not comfortable enough with the format yet to be main decking 2-color hate, even when it's really good. I guess if I had a lot of looting, I might. And what kind of looting do we have? Well, here's where Wolfkin Bond is better than a giant spider, because it's going to go, for now anyway, it's going to go on our elemental and allow it to attack. Protection from X creatures are not all main deckable, because many of them are just absolutely terrible rate cards if they don't have. Specifically that... you know, that protection ability, so I'd say basically no. Like, I don't really want to play... Now, if we play this, we can't play the troll, but I'm not sure we care about the troll. We are in a race for our lives with Boreal Elemental. No, I think I'm going to take Air Elemental every time. I like the ability here, and the easier on the mana is nice, but not every time. Like, obviously, we wouldn't play an Air Elemental in this deck, but pack one, pick one, I'm starting with an Air Elemental over a Boreal Elemental every time. I am going to pass on casting that troll, and we're going to look for action. Hey, that's kind of action. If we kill this, that would get a counter. That's no good, though. How about we'll just play the tracker for now. I'm going to go ahead and attack with the elemental. We're behind on this race, obviously, but we have a siphon that's going to get us 3 back. So I'm... is that instant? Oh, that's sorcery. That's too bad. Hopefully we can do something to just get us killed here. What will a vial take down? Probably the vampire? Oh, it's not doing much right now. Maybe they'll leave it for combat. I think Noxious Grasp is white or green. Okay, so they moved. Here's a place where we could attack with the vampire. They block with the 1/1. We feral invocation it and gain 3 life, and that helps with this race we're in. So there's that option. Yeah, we could siphon the overgrowth as well. The trouble is there that just gives puts a counter here, but maybe that's okay. That's true. Vial would kill the vamp in response. Let's go ahead and siphon the elemental. It puts a counter on the other elemental, but I think this is worth it. Gives us some life, helps us with this rate, with the race we're in. Oh, did that? I just don't even understand the... I'm not used to all these cards yet. I thought, okay, whenever another creature controlled dies, you gain 1 life. If it was an... Okay. Just misread that card, which is good for us in this case. It left us with better options. And we're going to pile on... I think we'll just send those. See if they want to vial the wolf. Probably could have sent the skeleton, actually. We'll see if that point matters. I don't think they're blocking the skeleton, and we're going to play the bark hide, so we didn't really need it back for D. I kind of wish they were at 8 right now. We'll see if that matters. Minor inefficiency, but point of life total can be all the difference, so let's keep track. See if that mistake punishes us for them being at 9 instead of 8. I didn't want to send the vamp because they definitely would have just blocked with the soldier. Ugh, rough. We got soul salvage. That's nice. And then we can invocate our flyer. If we can survive here. We don't have too much time to get this back online. That helps, though. Just going to play that. That's our only yard creature. We want... I'm going to send this and this and this. I'm not going to invoke the vamp for life right now. We're going to soul salvage... soul salvage... It's going to block and die, and then we're going to soul salvage it back along with our flyer. And then hopefully they can't kill us next turn, and we are able to redeploy our flyer and not die. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hopefully we find another land so that we can go play the flyer, play the invocation on the flyer so that it can block and live. Because our other problem is that if we... Yeah, they have 4 in the air next turn, I get that. The real problem is 4 and is this... Can we... we're really just having to take a chance here that we draw a land. If we draw a land, we're going to be okay. If we don't draw a land, it's going to be close. Yeah, we could. The trouble is, if we don't keep this... Here's my problem. If we use this now to try and gain some life, we get this back. Congratulations, we have a 3/4. They have a 4/5. What's your plan for this 4/5 flyer when we use the invocation to get a little extra life right now? We can't afford that. We have to... We're on a long shot plan here to not necessarily long shot, but this card needs to be a land, and that's what we're playing to. I don't think we can win this game if we don't set up a 3/4 flyer with an invocation on it. Yeah, they are going to 5. That's true. So we just try to we could also just try and win the race. That's a fair point. It does help us with the race. I just worry that we lose to a 4/5 flyer. Yeah, the 1 point totally is mattering, isn't it? We have 2 hourglasses here, so let's figure this out. Yeah, druid only. This, you're talking about the scout? I know what druid you're talking about, but this gets creatures. That's the thing. I guess that's why I'm not doing, like, we can get the vampire back. Maybe we just throw it on here. Yeah, I'm kind of with Zylog on this one. I'm now leaning towards invocating for the extra damage. I'm gonna go for extra damage. I think I've changed my mind. I think we're racing. And we just have to make sure that this gets cast correctly. Interesting spot. Thanks for all your thoughts. I think we have a decent line going for the race here. But it depends on what they show here. They could have follow-ups that render all of this kind of moot. Brutal. Hey, Strom. So we get in easy and free with a vampire at least, and that makes it hard for them to attack. We can send in troll, but that only gives it hexproof. That doesn't really do anything. So yeah, we'll get in for 1 with the vamp and hope that they're really out of gas. Why don't I, or why don't they? Yeah, we could send skeleton as well. They just block it though. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now it costs 3 to bring back. I mean, we could, but I don't think it does anything. They can't really block this, and they're just going to block this and make us spend mana, so it's not really worth it here. Why do you think Oppo should attack, Vaporkin, so that we can win? I mean, this doesn't give vigilance, does it? No? That's rough. Although now this is a forced block, this is a forced block. These two get in for 2. We're so close. Little help. Little help. Yeah, that 1 point, right? Telling you, game of inches. Well, now if we send the Dire Moon, Octoprophet probably blocks, but that's still okay. And, well, if we attack all, we get these two through. This trades, this gets eaten. So then we end up in a spot where they are at 1, and they have just an elemental, and we have 2 creatures. So that does threaten lethal next turn if this is garbage and this is garbage. They scryed 2 to the top. Yeah. All right, so I'm just going to send the Vamp here. A little too desperation to play it that way, I think. Yeah, could they play 1/2 drop, please? I know this card isn't good. I'm not playing this because I think it's good. I'm playing this because it had a job to do. All right, at least we have something to kill, even though it's underneath equipment. No, there's not really much to we you know, it is doing a job. It just didn't have a job to do against this deck. But there's a reason it's in the deck. And it's in there for a decent reason. Wow. Did we just kind of win? They put that on the Seer and we Legion's End the token and win? Well, I think they were thinking they needed to win before we did, so I get it. We haven't really shown... And I think they had a perfectly fine logic about it, which is if we had removal, we would have used it by now, right? But really, we had removal that was so restricted, it actually worked out for us. This removal was so bad it was good, because it convinced Oppo that we didn't have the ability to do this. So Oppo kind of gave us that one, but that after we tried to give it to them. They should have been dead already, but I failed to make a single point of attack. Oh, man. When you ask yourself why you're at 61% win rate and why pros are at 70 or whatever, that stuff is why, man. Those 1 points, they cost you games, and that costs you win percentage. In this case, punt repunt got us there. This deck. Phil's hates sealed. I kind of like it. There's something liberating about not having to make any picks and just work with what you're handed. I do like that it's also the only truly authentic limited on Arena. We're a couple of green off from that, we're going to keep here. Actually, we'll start with the swamp, play the skeleton, play falls on 2, and then we can get a little damage in with the skelly. They're asking us a question, and we're going to answer with an attack. Do I ever get excited and make plays too quick? Oh, all the time, Mirror Twin. One of my big leaks that we've seen on stream again and again is making plays before combat, because they're obviously what we're going to do that turn, but then combat would be better if I had mana up. So yeah, definitely taking a pause, slowing your roll, and making your attack decisions before playing anything is much better magic. So Oppo trying to make pup good through equipment. That's one way to augment, to take advantage of the double body situation here. Because again, if you're not taking advantage of the 2 bodies, the straight rate of an 0-1 and a 2-2 for 3 is just not that great. However, we don't really have attacks here, so we're just going to drop this swamp and play the vamp and move on.
A pure soul can inspire others.
On the play against turn 4 Ajani is not where one wants to be in life. But let's play a Thicket Crasher, I guess, and see what we can do. We could attack with the Vampire, but it just trades with one of the tokens, and we're not really happy about it. I think we got to contain Ajani via Elemental. We got to draw a land and start flying at Ajani. I know, right, Silver? At least they're mythic. Oppo got a very nice deck here. This is an excellent card as well. Also, again, making the axe look pretty decent. Wish it mattered. $15 life. They've got a ways to go. We really needed a land there. This isn't horrible, but boy, we needed a land there. If we had a land there, we have a shot at this thing. If we attack here, they're probably blocking with the kitty cat. Actually, I like... we could siphon the kitty and then come in with the crasher. And it doesn't give them... Then they don't really have great blocks. Gotta make a decision. I gotta go after Ajani. I'm gonna give it a try. Sorry, Fought Fools. Well, you can go listen to it on your own. Oh yeah, I can't remember if I mentioned it at the top of the show, but I think I did. Fiddles. I put out a call at the end of yesterday's show saying that I hadn't actually figured out what my final song in the cycle was going to be, and I needed a good song whose title also matched the name of a green card, and Fiddles came through with Crash Landing by Jimi Hendrix. Right on, we got the Magic Host this morning. Hey, Wizards. Thank you for that. We're just going to take this. Get a land here. Oh, that's not a land at all. But we're going to track and hope. Let's see, if we send in the Vampire, they block probably with a pup. Which is not great. Alright, let's gonna do this. Elraf asks, is sealed worth it from a free-to-play perspective, or should I stick to ranked drafts when they release for Core 2020? Sealed is not worth it. You can play traditional draft, and I think that's a reasonable value. But sealed is not worth it, he says, playing sealed. But we're playing sealed from the paid account, where we are willing to gouge our wallet for the Magic entertainment that we prefer. If you are...
Friendship is the best cure.
If you are working on a budget, though, you're going to want to avoid sealed. I think this card is going to sneakily be a big player in Magic. Like, this kind of feels like Tarmogoyf to me in some ways, in that just that, like, the size for the rate is just incredible. And I think some decks are going to be able to turn that discard clause into an advantage, and then have this 7/6 3-drop that enables your madness or whatever. Anyway, that's more constructed thoughts, but... well, we're going to get the elemental down now so that we can try and pressure a Johnny. But then this Reclamation plus Sanitarium Skeleton plus Chumping Regisar seems actually okay. Partly I'm trying this out. You know, I get what you mean. Like, if we're truly honest about this card, like, I always like to compare anything where the payoff is drawing a card. Like, start by comparing it to Divination. You know, like, for Divination, you pay 3 mana and get 2 cards on the spot immediately. This is paying 2 more mana, and you need 2 creatures to die before you even get to Divination value. So anybody questioning the inclusion of this card, I totally get it, right? It's not... On its surface, you could say that it's worse than Divination. But partly it's for things like this. We're going to... you know, if we had this out right now, this would be... We'd have a bunch of great blocks, and Appa wouldn't even be making these attacks, right? They'd be doing this differently. As it is, we're just gonna... I'm not sure what they're up to here, but we're gonna go like... I guess we go like this. And... like this. What are we up against? What is there for 1 green? This attack seems a little wild to me. I don't know... Might of the Masses, thank you. Okay, good. So, probably don't want to put the Elemental at risk then. We could give up the Tracker, though. I'd be okay with that. And if they mass pump one of the unblocked... Yeah, let's do this. Thanks for the Google on what spell they had there. I think we played appropriately given that. Now we can just drop this dude. But we are going to keep going after a Johnny here. We got to do that. Yeah, like... Oh, 35. Let's see. So we go actually go after their life total right now. So we'll... Yeah, we have to go after life total. Are they going to get life? No, they don't have life link. So this is okay. And we do this. I know, we're up against, like, we gotta dump stuff out and try to get a Johnny here. Like, it may work, it may not. Actually, I think the Pride Mate is a bigger problem for us. than that.
I sense the good in your heart.
Huh, and they could have attacked with Crasher. There's no way we were blocking there. It's got Vigilance. That's nice. They have no Death Touch. 4, 5, 6, 7. If they want to do... I think we're just kind of screwed, though, here. Kind of just need to play the Reclamation and go at a Johnny or go at life total, and then they block with everything and then just kill it anyway. We're not dead on board. We're ultimate on board. We just lose? How do we just lose? I mean, are you all saying... Those are you just saying we're just dead? Are you assuming that if a Johnny ultimates, we're dead? I disagree. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Sorry, I was worried about my clock and I grabbed the wrong thing. Darn it. Okay, well, we're not going to get value out of the Gargos, but we're going to attack life total anyway. That's frustrating. It's really only costing us a card draw, though. We were going to play this and draw a card. I mean, it's like, it's technically a punt, but it's barely a punt. The only thing that's different here is that we're missing out on a card draw. Oh, is it Exile? Yeah, it's Exile anyway, so even that doesn't work. Oh, and I shouldn't have played the Skeleton. The Skeleton will get exiled. Gotta read my cards. That was kind of a clunky display of magic there, as I didn't read my opponent's card. Yeah, so it wasn't even a punt. My punt was not reading my opponent's cards, honestly. So let's here, we'll go Scorp and Reclamation. I love that you're all just like deaders. Dead. You're dead. We're not dead. We might be dead. They got some other stuff that could make us dead, but we're not dead. Sure, I can balance that a little bit. It's hard for me to tell sometimes. How's that? And what do we have in here to get? We can salvage back a lot of stuff. Probably want the Elemental and the Tracker, or maybe just the Scorp to draw a card and be on defense again. And do that. Vamp. Yeah, Vamp is better than Scorp. Same thing, but better. But I like Vamp. We could get Vamp and Scorp if we just want all Death Touch all the time. You want to cast the Elemental? I think I want to get Tracker here. I'm going to do that because Tracker gets us the long game. We have a flyer, so yeah, 2 elementals would be fine, but Captain's gonna be okay though because of the axe. Okay, so we talked about how Moldavine Reclamation on its surface just seems so much worse than Divination, but we're now experiencing somewhat of its upside. And we get to go Elemental into Elemental and put a counter on it, so that's nice. And then we want to block here and trade if we can. So Reclamation is pulling its weight now. It wasn't necessarily before, but it sure is now. Oh, nice. And we get to blow them out. This, yeah, just barely, but we get to blow them out. This might even cause a scoop, even at 35 or 38 or whatever. Although we're at 17, yeah, this is going to be good, though. Boom. Four, five, six. We have 4 left over. We could actually track her looking for a 4. And we're at 9 now. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Oh, wait, let's do it like this, though. I want to do a tracker now because we might find a creature to actually play here. And we're at 9 life, which is healthy given this Corpse Knight. So I'm looking for action to cast right now. Didn't find any. Wow. Am I willing to go to 5? Why are you sighing, Zylog? That was perfectly reasonable. I'm looking for a creature to play right now. Don't you sigh at me. You explain why what I did was unreasonable. And I wanted to do it now so then we could have full information as we decide whether or not we're even attacking with the Elemental this turn. I think we are. Yeah, it didn't work, therefore bad. I've given them a way to get back in the game by... What? I think you're overreacting, Zylog. That was a perfectly reasoned play and perfectly reasonable. It was, I continue to say, it was perfectly reasonable. Now it's not, because we've got this Corpse Knight. I'm going to stay back. Let's see, what else is going on with this? Let's read my opponent's mythics, shall we? So they put a land, yeah, and when it dies, target card from graveyard on top. So they get anything in their graveyard back when it dies. That's a pretty big game, because then they have things like Blood for Bones in here, and... yeah. Corpse Knight, whatever. This is the real problem here. I think it was the best play, Zylog. I think you're just wrong. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And in fact, it's... I'm going to main phase it again here. Actually, I want to leave up more green, though. Here we go. Barkhide. Vulture. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take Barkhide. It keeps the murder up. We're at 14. They're at 13. So we may be going for that at this point. Although this is not a May. Somebody else said, watch out, Moldavine Reclamation can deck you. This is tough. Do you have... What do we even have? Like, if we just murder this, I feel like we're in such trouble. Like, we can't really give them the best thing back, right? I think we gotta just kind of hope that we stay roughly similar here. Yeah, Rumbut, that's the problem. If it weren't for Cavaliers... If it weren't for this third ability on the Cavalier, I would have murdered it already. The best thing they get, I think, is just the Blood for Bones, because then they can, then they get back the Cavalier. They don't? Is it Exile? Oh, Exile it. Okay, they don't get the Cavalier back. That's good. So what's the maybe we do that then. They get something back, but they don't get the Cavalier back. Okay, so that's good. So maybe we have a little bit of a chance here. Yeah, we can actually start attacking now. That's a good point. Let's do that. I'm going to start attacking with the Elemental. And if they do the trade, then we save the murder for what they get. So that's a good plan. Good call, Inception. I like it. Yeah, the murder, the knight might kill us, but let's see what they're going to get. See, they're going for Blood for Bones. Which is kind of what I expected. They probably... That's right, we have murder at instant speed. We'll figure out what to do here. We don't need to murder the knight till they make an action. And now we do. Yeah, if we do it, but if we wait, they get the drain. So we may have to let them drain us once, and then no, if we murder it now, they bring it back. So we need to let it happen once, and then murder it so they can't get it back. You can't let them pick without it following through here, but we can murder the knight with this on the stack. Perhaps my biggest mistake here so far was playing out the skeleton for no value because I thought I'd be able to get it back. If we just had a skeleton in hand right now, we might be in decent shape. A lot of little mistakes here. But we got to go for the win in the air now. We're going to stop. We're not playing to deck. We're playing to win. Dionysus, you can't initiate a punt for something I acknowledged happened 12 turns ago, my friend. If you didn't see it then, too bad for you. Ooh, that could be good. Take out this. But let's start with this and this. No, Dionysus, you cannot punt 12 turns later. Just because I mentioned something I did 12 turns ago, you don't get to punt 12 turns later. You need to punt at the moment, Dionysus, or let it go. You missed it. Suck it. Suck it, Dionysus. You missed a punt. You're just going to have to sleep with that in your head tonight. No suck it emote, but that's an idea. We can consider that for future. And here I just like, you know, we don't need to chump the Regisar forever. We'll just double block it. We get a couple of draws. We still have this. It's all about this 6/7 and whether it lives. I think that's what this game is coming down to now. We have enough deck that a 6/7 flyer is going to get there in however many turns, 5 attacks or whatever. But that's a lot of turns for them to find something to deal with it. So we'll see. We can 1-for-1 the Dino? How? I want to. I don't see it. Now we're going to offer Troll and Shaman. And it creates a 2-for-1 instead of a 1-for-1, but we draw twice. Decking is more of a concern than anything, but this is fine. It's fine. No problem. No problem. It's all good. Nothing but land for us. Gotta stop drawing with the tracker, though. Five, let's see, do we have a tracker activation? The rest go in the bottom. We go to 4, then 3. I'm not going to risk it. Ooh, can't even cast that. Oh, for the tracker? That's true. But ultimately, you still need to do the math then on this attack. Let's see, we're at 4. If we go to 3, then we untap and go to 2 and attack them to 8. We untap and go to 1 and attack them to 2. We untap and go to 0 and attack them to 0. So we do have 1 extra draw, but we may need it if they kill one of our creatures that's not the elemental. Yeah, Foil King and I are on the same page there. That we have a 1-card cushion, but we need it, yeah, for something like this. Ooh. All right, well, I said it was going to be tight. Like, we needed to somehow get this through 5 straight turns without it dying, and we didn't. I like how we played, though. That's not true. Made some punts this game that probably cost us. I don't know if it cost us the game, but definitely we are in a weaker position here because of that. And now I don't think we're really in a winnable position. I don't think we have the card quality left to get anything done here. Well, Bone Splinters next turn. Does if we draw Bone Splinters, can we somehow get there? I think it probably starts with this on the here. Maybe Buffalo, but it's tough to say at that point. Like, if we knew a Hydra was coming, sure. I mean, you just want a deck. Let's just do this. Thanks, Fiddles. Appreciate that. Yes, we lost that one, but it was a good game. We looked for some lines. We found some lines. Took advantage of some oppo mistakes. Overcame some of our own. And just came up a little bit short. They found their super bomb, and our flyer was not enough. But that was a good game. Unfortunately, we're 1-2, though. But that's why Sealed is such an oppressive investment. All right, we're in the 2-loss bracket. Let's see what we can do with this. Also, Jay Schneider should be poking his head in pretty soon. Well, missing green again, which punished us before, but we do have Skeleton, and any land gets us a Winged Words on 3, so we're going to keep this. Yeah, this is... Winged Words is looking a lot better than Reclamation right now, huh? We could play the Elemental, but Crasher is an Elemental, so if we want to Winged Words, find land, we can go Crasher into Overgrowth, but we lose out on applying pressure with a 3-2 right now. Let's start with an attack, see what Oppo wants to do about the attack. Is it worth it? It does have Trample. Making this a 5-4 Trample with the possibility of Invocation seems pretty good. We didn't set par for this pool. I think it's just okay. Let's set par at 3. I'm not sure, Ubermensch. Maybe. But you may... Mensch is saying that we have some excellent anti-white-green removal in our sideboard. And Mensch is suggesting that maybe we're supposed to play that main if everybody's playing white or green in their pool. And in 3-color sealed pools, especially green looks like it's showing up in a lot of sealed pools here, and you can absolutely start to play toward what you're seeing from an environment in terms of sideboard main decking. Typically more sideboard type cards. What are we doing here, though? We got 5 mana. We can just drop the Reclamation. Or we can make the Crasher big. I like Reclamation, although I feel like if they have Murder... Like, this is just going to get murdered, right? Although they're going to murder if we do this as well. Let's do it. Let's use all our mana. Okay, they didn't have anything. Wow. Oppo doing nothing until 5 is probably good for us, but maybe they bust out on the scene with some good stuff here. pretty far away from our big bomb with the lands we've drawn, but we'll get there eventually. And we don't have 2 green, so we can't do both of these. And I'm gonna attack in with both. Looks pretty suspicious. Looks like, hey, we got Moldavine Reclamation, so we're gonna trade, but then we go, haha. This is why I like Invocation. It's basically, we've already 1-for-1 Invocation for this Golem. And now we have a 6/5. And if they get this, it's not a 2-for-1. We already got the Golem. Scorp is going to eat this Siphon, though. I think it's definitely one of the cards that you should be playing around in the set. If you're making a block and your Oppo has 2 and a green open and it would be a blowout, watch yourself. You don't want to get blown out by Invocation if you can help it. And, oh, is this Exile? Exile! Nice. Way to come through for us, Legion's End. And then this goes to any target? Yeah, they're just Dobbs. Legion's End is pretty C-, D+, but sometimes it's what you've got. Still getting used to all these cards. I almost made a mistake there because I was thinking that only went to creatures, but the Lightning Helix goes to the face. So nice. All right, we made it to pulled to 2-2. Let's see if we can get par here. Yeah, Oppo didn't do anything until turn 4 or whatever, and we did stuff basically every turn, so that was going to be trouble for them. Still getting errors from Deckmaster. I don't know if other streamers are having any success with it from its... I know it's not doing its draft stuff, but yeah, we'll keep this. We got 2 green to our Watcher. Ooh, we even drew a 1-drop that we can play, but Legion's End is that it's best in your opening hand with a black source. And that's why. See ya, Overseer. Love this card so much. All I want to do all format is cast this card. Legion's End found a target very late in one game that was just okay. It's a little below fine. We're close, Stratic. I just think it's a little below fine. It's not great. You stare at it a lot, in my experience. But then it, if it finds something, great. We have a Soul Salvage. Druid isn't too exciting. But I'm going to attack with a Scorpion. Let's see, actually, what do we know about what they have? They have a Sprite that can also trade with our Flyer. Lavakin Brawler. Maybe we'll save the Scorp for the Lavakin Brawler. Like, I should read it, though. Yeah. I know, yeah, we're close, Stratic. I'm just saying fine minus. You're at fine, I'm at, like, fine minus. Yeah, you're at fine, I'm at begrudgingly playable. Do I know that Marshall from LR? I don't know if you're joking, M-Cham. It's hard to know sometimes what people are aware of on that front. Well, the question was, do we want to trade Seer for Scorpion? And I decided no. That they have a brawler that we might want to trade with it for. I mean, if we get to... We're closing in on Gargos mana, which maybe makes it all moot. But that was my thinking, 7th chords. I mean, we may want to just get it so that this clears stuff out, but this has Vigilance, not Reach. Let's offer Vulture. I don't love this, I guess, but yeah, maybe we just stay back if they're not attacking. I'm gonna attack. We have Soul Salvage, so I don't mind if stuff trades here. And we can have Murder at instant with Skeleton ready to bring back if we want to do that instead. I'm going to go ahead and take this. If they want to pump, that's fine. I don't think they will. All right, we're almost at Watcher mana. And if we keep it from getting countered, it should be pretty darn good. And then we have Soul Salvage. If they do something besides... we don't want to get it... Don't want this to go to sleep, but if it just dies, we can get it back. We'll attack, since we haven't shown that we're blocking there. I guess I should have played the Swamp, then I can have Murder and Skeleton available. I'm going to go ahead and play the Skeleton, though. It keeps us off of Murder for the turn, which is too bad, but hopefully that they won't play anything that we really wanted to murder. Yeah, I could have blocked there. Sorry, I got a little distracted by a text. I don't know if I was supposed to block there or not, but I chose not to. Now, let's see. Bone to Ash is too scary, although we could get it right back if they Bone to Ash. Trouble is they draw a card. Yeah, I mean, we even know they have the Brawler, so I kind of want to find something else. But we could also just say, look, fine, take your card, take your counter, we're just going to get it back and recast it. But let's see if we can get him to tap out. We'll keep up the Murder this time, we'll do our blocking this time. I don't think we're in any high pressure situation here. We can try and bait them out with a different card. Probably going to have to give them something to counter, though. What do you know? They're keeping up 4 still. And no equip? You're kidding me. Kind of thinking we should just do it now, let them have it, and then get it back. But we also can just attack. See if they want to trade off the Mastiff. It's fine. Nope. All right, I'm gonna stay patient. We have a high life cushion. I'd really like to find something else to throw at them for the counter rather than Gargos. And now they're not pumping, of course. All right, well, let's offer them the skeleton first and foremost, see if they're interested in taking the free card for that. They are not. So now we probably offer the elemental, or we just draw more cards. If we offer the elemental and they counter it, thing is we can also just draw cards and then have murder. I'm fine with that. Let's keep playing this game. Playing around the obvious bone to ash. And then here, we'll give him... Let's try this one. Will you take this? No. More blue. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we can play the elemental, they can counter it, and we can still murder the sprite. And then we have, or we can just soul salvage right away. I think we got to give it to him though, and then just work the soul salvage angle. You think it's bad quench? Either way, doesn't matter. I mean, that'd be even better. But if it's bad quench, we can pay for it. Also, if it's bad quench, they would have countered our card draw, I think. Yeah, let's give it to him. All right, let's finally fire off the trap. And then we can salvage or murder. I'm going to go with the murder, and I'm just going to do it now. No joke, that Chandra. Man, we are just facing a lot of difficulties today. Are we just dead? Let's see, we got, what is Chandra going to do us next turn? We get an emblem that's going to take us out in a few turns, and they can X for 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 mana with which we can Gargos and Soul Salvage. All right, let's do that. Definitely Boreal. We might need Life Link to counteract getting plunked by Chandra. But Boreal also could take Vulture and get some life that way. Guess we'll take the Vulture. Yeah, Emblem is the big problem now, right? They go Emblem here, and even if we like...
Like someone's getting a little sweaty.
Like we might be able to beat 1 emblem. Ugh, come on. All right, did we make it to par? No, we stuck. We're gonna lose. We're gonna go 2-3. I thought I was good at Magic. Maybe I suck. I don't know. The waves could stop now. I wouldn't mind if the waves would subside. Jeez. Come on. Sadly, we don't even get a 2 for 2 here with an attack, and we don't have anything to target it. Yep. No shame here. We just losing to good cards. Four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, oh, still have 9, so we can go Elemental Thicket Crasher before we die? Sure. I don't even know, like, we're just so dead. I guess we get some life here. That's more important than Thicket Crasher. It all feels like it doesn't matter, though.
Hope it's not too hot for you.
Well, sometimes card decks have great cards and weaker cards. I think we're just dead, though. We tried. They're just going to sit behind Chandra, and we can't really do anything about it. I mean, we got some life gain, but this is a bug, Fiddles. There's no way it should be doing this. It's just some audio loop that is here to drive us mad. Oh, it's all right, Oppo. You've got it. We can't beat your planeswalker. Please, now, can you stop? Thank you. My God, fix that bug, Watsy. Ah, well, not happy with that result, but we had a very good game or two in there. This format actually is, I gotta say, proving a little bit more princely than I thought. I was really super excited about a lot of the low rarity stuff I'm seeing, but the mythics in this set are kind of bonkers, and it's tough to beat the mythics that you see. Yeah, you got a good point, Looster Booster, who says sealed always feels princey because basically you get 6 packs worth of rares to try and get. Silver says, hey Ryan, would you prefer it if drafting didn't include rares? For all the feel bads you get from rares, they do make every draft different. Yeah, no, I love it. Good players can find themselves complaining about losing to broken cards, but they're so essential to the balance of Magic, not only in a not the balance of power in a set, but the balance of power among players. Like giving the worst player a chance to win through better cards and luckier draws is the heart of why we are still playing Magic. There's a reason why chess isn't super popular, and a big reason why chess isn't, I mean, chess is a popular game. It's one of the all-time classics, but people, competitive chess isn't a huge draw, mostly because I think people don't aspire to get better at chess in the same way you do at Magic, because it's so predetermined whether you're going to win or lose against a better player in chess, whereas it's just not in Magic, and the rares are a big part of that, and they're a big part of why this game is going strong. So even though it's frustrating to lose to some awesome cards, you're going to get them just as much as they are, and in the long run, skill will win out. But unfortunately today, oops, it has meant pretty weak result. Nonsense Meadowhawk. Just because a game has variance doesn't mean it's only variance. I wouldn't be streaming how to win at coin flipping or anything. Anyway, let's go open some packs and lick our wounds. We'll get into soapbox mode. I didn't see my limited rank. I don't know why it has exclamation points. Don't lie to me and tell me you'd watch a coin flipping stream.